What is up, guys? Sam from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over my round 4 matchup from the Madden Classic on the Xbox console. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, check out my strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by the pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active. So head over to gridirongameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into today's tape. Today's format is going to be a little bit different. This is actually the first time that I'm going to be watching my tape back on this game. I was a little bit upset with the way that I played in this game. My opponent was good. Played delay fade for a touchdown, and it was Packers versus Packers. Obviously, this is Reg's head-to-head tournament. And, you know, to me, this is some pretty good tape to review, not only for myself and learning how to do better for myself, but also kind of showing to you guys that, you know, you guys need to make sure that you guys look at your tape as well and see what you've done wrong, what adjustments you can make to be better in certain scenarios. Now, if you've been following my commentaries through the Madden Classic, I am running the Las Vegas Raiders on offense, and I am running my 2-4-5 and 3-3-5 defenses that are found on Gridiron Game Plans out of the 3-4 defense. So with this being kind of the Vegas offense, I set a lot of under center, 2 back, 1 tight end audibles. This allows me to come out in the trips tight end, and if I want to remove Tavon Austin from my formation and put in Tyler Irvin, who is a running back, that gives me the ability to audible down. This is important because so many players like to use different run defenses or trips defenses too, in the forms of mainly the 3-3-5 wide and the big nickel over G. Obviously, the 3-3-5 wide, there are different runs that work against that than the big nickel over G. So having multiple formations to audible down into based off of what they come out in so I can run the ball effectively is really important to me. As somebody that hasn't run the trips tight end all year long, this is something that I jumped into, you know, 2 weeks before the Classic because I felt it was the best possible formation that I could run to effectively move the ball in reg. So as I start off here on offense, you see he is in the 3-3-5 wide, and I go to the inside zone. He didn't have the defensive line offset. With the Packers, they have Kenny Clark. So when I run that inside zone, you notice that I put the double team on Kenny Clark to make sure that his inside stuff doesn't instantly shed and blow that up for a loss. So I pick up a nice first down out to the 40-yard line, first down and 10. Inside cross was one of the plays that I like to use quite a bit. This is a popular meta setup. As I obviously am talking about right here, you know, when I'm running this, I didn't really have a whole heck of a lot of time to get into a down and dirty lab meta for myself. So what I ended up doing was basically kind of taking the best elements of trips tight end that a number of popular players use out there and try to use what was comfortable to me to try to move the ball up and down the field while mixing in a lot of bunch tight end. Now, if you watched my previous video, I talked about how in the bunch tight end, I don't like to go to the boot over. I like to actually run the curl flat corner play, which is a sideline flooding concept. Right there, burned a timeout, and I come back out, 2nd down and 4, and I quick snap the inside zone to the short side, and Rashawn Gary is able to make the tackle, so it's going to be 3rd down and short. I go ahead and no huddle, thinking I'm going to go right back to the inside zone. I double team Kenny Clark. He doesn't get his inside stuff, and Aaron Jones is able to fight for the first down. So 1st down and 10 from midfield, moving the ball primarily on the ground at this point. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking here on this drive, you know, we got to get points on the board at any cost. So far, he's been somewhat decent on defense, but we got to start off with a score. And the reason for that is obviously with him having the ball at half, you don't want to give him the opportunity to blank you and then have the ball going into half and then have the ball coming out of half. That's the worst possible scenario. is I hit Tavon Austin on a whip route. He ran a fair amount of 2-man under out of the nickel 3-3-5, kept the 2 high safeties, didn't really allow me to get over the top. So again, coming back out, this play is the curl flat play. I check into the counter go. I really like this play because Davante Adams, and I actually put him on a slant right there, but I love that play against Mabel, and I'll talk about it if I ever get a look here as to why I like it against Mabel. Right there, I rolled out too quick. You may remember from my previous commentary, when you have a 2-way go with a route going left to right and a route going right to left, that I'll oftentimes read the quarterback's feet and they'll tell me which side they want to go to. Right there, I was definitely looking to hit the crosser, and because I moved to the right, it didn't give me the ability to throw back to the left to Davante Adams, who was open on the slant. So watching that tape right there, I've got to be better. I've got to stay put in the pocket, only move if there's pressure, make those reads. Little 3-man rush, I roll out, looking for Bobby Tonyan back over the middle. I'm able to hit delay fade for touchdown with a delay fade for a first down. So 3 of 4, 35 yards. I'm not moving the ball at a high octane clip right here, but the ball control is working, stringing together some first downs, and I'm in field goal range. First down and 10 from the 21. Ball's a little bit in between the hash marks right here. So I go with the inside zone thinking, okay, well, let's go ahead and get to a hash, run it left or right. And another nice run. So right here, I'm thinking, okay, the run game is kind of there. I mean, I've picked up 3 first downs on the ground now on this drive. This time he gets tired of the inside zone, so he offsets his user. I try to go to a cutback. Aaron Jones falls forward for 9 yards, and I'm there 2nd down and 1. So right here, being that I am in the Oakland Raiders playbook, I instantly go into the strong H wing, and I'm looking to set up the stretch alert lookie, also set some goal line audibles. You'll see a number of pro players do this out of the Oakland Raiders offense. And right here, I'm going to, I'm not sure why I set my ball carrier. Oh, I set my ball carrier conservative right here because I wanted to use a QB sneak. I didn't want my quarterback to fumble. So right here, I go to the QB sneak, and he falls forward and picks up a gain of nothing right there. Looked to me like he had enough for the first down. Yeah, so that conservative call was just to make sure my quarterback on the quarterback sneak didn't fumble the ball right there. So right here, now I go to aggressive. I want my running back to fight for the extra yards, and I'm setting up those goal line audibles. I believe I'm going to set the fullback dive, probably set power O, maybe power G. And I put in another running back to make sure that I can audible into the goal line. And I come right back out in the strong H wing. So now with, you basically have 3 tight ends on the field. I have Bradley split out wide. That allows me to audible in. Instead, I go to the power, and I am in for a touchdown. So right there, I believe he was in a 4-down lineman set. I went to the, power RPO rather than the stretch RPO, as I think those power calls really gash up the 4-down lineman fronts in Madden 21. So we're in for a touchdown. I'm up 7-0, kept the ball on the ground, didn't have to show too much of the passing offense. I feel really, really good right here. 11 plays, 70 yards, 4:41 off the clock. Could not ask for a better drive to start the game, because now maybe he starts to press a little bit. Maybe he's thinking, okay, that took a lot of time off the clock right here. I've got to answer 7 with 7. Maybe he forces something, makes a mistake here. So perfect spot to be in is Mason Crosby. He's going to boot this out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, and he'll start 1st and 10 from in between the hashes on the 25-yard line. Another underrated part of being able to get a touchback is that so many pro players will waste their first down call running the ball to a hash mark. So that is definitely something to keep in the back of your mind as I go through and set my players here. As I've talked about with the Packers, I love how multiple they can be on defense in regs. You can run a 3-3-5 with Zadarius Smith and Rashawn Gary on the edge, Kenny Clark in that 3-3-5, and then still have Darnell Savage, Will Redmond, and Raven Green. And then your DBs are still really good with Jair, Harry Nickerson, Holloman, and then you put Kevin King back at safety along with Amos. So they've got really good nickel package. And then when you go to the 2-4-5, it's the same nickel package, but you're taking Will Redmond off the field and putting a second D tackle in the form of Dean Lowry or Damon Harrison, depending on if they're a run first or pass first player. The Packers are really loaded for regs, and that's why you're going to see so much of them in the live event. So you see exactly that. I'm making my subs right here. It's basically the same personnel. Like I said, you pull Redmond off the field in 3-3-5 for an extra defensive tackle. So I'm starting off in my 2-4-5 defense here, 2nd down and 1. As my opponent got the ball to the left hash on his first play, and he motions over to create a 4 strong. This is a really, really good idea. This is a player who knows what he's doing against this defense, and he goes ahead and checks it underneath to Aaron Jones and scampers to the outside and picks up a nice little chunk of yards, a gain of 13 right there on a simple out route out of the backfield. And that's going to be a theme as I think back on this game. This is where if I think about what I did wrong in this game, I did not answer that bell very well as I think back on this. So again, back in the bunch, he's got Tavon Austin, MVS, Tanyan to the left, Aaron Jones, and Davante Adams to the right. Goes to the flood call. I've got a Mabel set up that time. So right there, I went from quarters. I went into more of a Mabel drop setup. Pretty good defense right there. He didn't really have anything open. I was able to sit on the backside read, and his front side read wasn't open. Second down and 10 right here. Little quick snap, going with the flood play, little hitch, and I get a strip sack with Zadarius Smith, and unfortunately I can't dive on that ball, but it does move him back. Third down and 25. Defense stepping up early right there. Zadarius Smith was lights out for me in this entire tournament. I would say that he and Raven Green, and then obviously, you know, the ability to use their Savage and Kevin King for me was really nice with this team as well. But definitely Zadarius Smith and Raven Green, that second nickel linebacker, played big dividends for me. So again, he goes to that 4 strong, motions Aaron Jones to the outside, looking for the wheel down the sideline. Didn't have it, so he checks it underneath to Tavon Austin, and he drops it. So there it is, Raven Green with the pass breakup, and I've forced a quick punt here on my first defensive drive of the game. So I'm feeling good. I mean, I won my first round game 31-13. I had a last-second score to win my second game, which was in the 3rd round because I had a bye. And now I've got a score and a 3 and out to start this next game. I'm thinking, okay, hey, I'm on to Sunday. I've only got to win 2 more games to make the or 2 or 3 more games to make the live event. I'm thinking I'm at least going to be into Sunday if I can continue to play clean Madden right here. So here I come back out in the trips tight end. Again, checking in between curl flat inside zone. I ran the ball so well on my first drive. I thought about the inside zone there. Then I check into the bunch tight end. Again, probably looking for the corner route here to Davante Adams. He drops some zone drops here. Looking over the middle of the field. Redmond chases. I throw the delay fade back to Tanyan, and I pick up a gain of about 20 yards right there. 23 yards out to the 41. You saw right there, I covered the ball. You know, I don't want to turn the ball over on something that's out of my control right there. You saw in the last game, I hit that deflator fumble right out of half. You know, I feel like I'm playing too clean right now to risk something like that. Again, another inside zone. Aaron Jones cuts back to the outside to the 40 across midfield, down the sidelines, 30, 20, down to the 19-yard line. I'm rushing the ball at about 11 yards per clip right now. And this is looking really, really good right here. You know, as I think back on this game, I'm spoiler alert, I don't win this game. But as I think back on this game, I'm wondering where the run game went. Again, this is the first time I've watched this since I lost this game. I'm wondering if I just stopped running the ball or if he made an adjustment. I honestly don't remember. We're gonna have to take a look at that. Bunch tight end this time, rare call for me inside zone. And I do the stop and go right there, and he hits me for a loss. So good user by him right there. I wonder if maybe that was what caused me to shy away from it, is that he hit one gap shoot. Let's find out if that's what caused me to do that. If so, that could end up being the biggest thing that cost me in this game, was allowing 1 tackle for loss after 7 runs for an 11-yard per carry average to really work on him there. So I let this go to the 2-minute warning. He's already burned a timeout. 40-second play clocks in regs. You know that he's going to be in a spot where basically he's going to have a short drive if he gets another one here at the tail end of the first half. So I'm kind of content to not necessarily throttle down, but just make sure that he doesn't have much time left on this. 2nd down and 13. This is definitely a passing down, but I almost wonder if I run the ball here thinking, let's just make him burn timeouts and take a 2-possession lead. And that's exactly what I do. I run the ball outside, and he strings it out for a tackle for loss. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 12 on this play. So maybe those 2 runs. We're going to have to see if that's what cost me game plan wise. So 3rd down and 12 here. I'm probably thinking safe. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking probably slip screen. No, not slip screen. Not slip screen. But for me right there in this spot, you've got your opponent in a spot with oh yeah, it was slip screen. It is slip screen. That's weird how I recognize my own tendencies. Like, what would I do in this spot? And that's exactly what I do, is I throw that little slip screen out, a little hezzy, stop and go. Aaron Jones picks up a first down to the 15. Actually, I was thrilled with that call. You saw right there, I captured that. That was a nice little play call right there. It's funny that I think back on that. It's like, what's a safe call that could pick me up a cheap first down and then get me to the half? And I thought to myself, slip screen. But I honestly did not remember that that was the play call that I made right there, as that picks me up a first down. So again, back into the strong H wing with the goal line personnel on the field. That allows me to audible into goal line if I so wish. I go back to the power here. So the power picked me up the first down on the first drive. I want to go back to Aaron Jones on the power here. I'm letting the clock tick. I don't want to give him any time. Down to 5 seconds. As I snap this ball, I fall forward for a gain of 5. So the power's there. Power's there on this drive. So basically, when he's in that big nickel over G, I'm looking for the power. When he's in a 3 down lineman set, I'm looking for the stretch lookie. Now here he is in the 4 down lineman set again. I'm going to check into goal line power O to the weak side away from his nickel corner on the right. I actually flip it back to the right here, and I run to the strength, and Aaron Jones unable to get in, but most importantly, I keep the clock rolling. 3rd down and goal from the 1. So the power row, I'm not sure why I ran that ball to the strength of the formation right there. He had the numbers to the right. I about fell in anyway with the pulling guard, but as I look back, that's probably one I should go to the back side of the formation right there and run to the weak side. So now we're in 3rd down and goal. And the most important part here is that I'm going to run the ball and make sure that that is the last play of the half. Again, he can't stop the clock, 30 seconds and ticking. He's had 1 drive. I'm playing masterful pace right here. This is exactly the way a player like I should play. Because what you're looking at here with this is Aaron Jones gets in for his 2nd touchdown, take a 14-0 lead. What you're talking about here is I have completely dominated the pace on offense. I have snapped the ball when I wanted to snap it. I've made the right 3rd down play calls. He struggled to stop the run. I got the 3 and out, realized that, my opponent is struggling as we have a little bit of a lag spike right there. And I basically have dominated the clock. 3:16 on that drive, something like 4:41 on my first drive. We're talking about in the first half, 10 minutes of play. I've had the ball for over 8 minutes, basically close to 8 minutes and 15 seconds of the first half. So with him only having 2 minutes time of possession in the first half, that is exactly where this needs to be. So here are 22 seconds left. I'm making sure that we're basically in a semi-prevent style defense. My Mabels are going to back up. I don't want to give him any deep smart out routes. I don't want to give him any deep corner routes. So I drop my Mabels back to a 30 and 15 depth here on this. So 1st down and 10, he's in between the hash marks, which is also good for me after the touchback. So, some of those corner route beaters, some of the ways the zones suck down and bite back isn't the same in between the hashes. So he's going to that flood combination, and that 30-yard depth actually cost me right there. He threw a nice little smart corner route underneath of it, which was a great call to hit by him right there on the play flood. So I'm sorry, on the play Z spot. So I changed my depth back to 25 to make sure that he can't do that again here. 17 seconds, motions Valdez-Scantling outside, and he's going to go to a hike throw wheel. This is a really good call by him right here. Gets out of bounds with 38 seconds left. I'm kind of pissed at myself right here. 2 very easy dots, and this is where I realize, okay, this guy is actually a proficient passer. Right here, this is where it registers. Like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He had a bad first drive, but this is going to be a challenge. This game's not over by any stretch. I'm not as in the driver's seat as I thought. So right here, I decide to lurk on Holloman. I want to see if he's going to go to that wheel, and he ends up throwing the ball to the running back and getting out of bounds out of the backfield. So really terrible, honestly, really terrible end of half defense. I played way too aggressive. You might even see me on Twitter talk about this all the time. I can't stand defensive coordinators that play vanilla defense at the end of the first half and at the end of the game. You got to run with the defense that got you there. And unfortunately, I didn't take my own advice right there, deciding to play myself back into a ball game right here, 14-3 now, as this is going to be basically our halftime score. At the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. It's just, it's a spot where I don't want him having the ball out of half. to put me in a spot where now I'm milking a less than 1 possession lead, but greater than a field goal. To me, I've talked about that on stream. If you guys follow me on twitch.tv/ZanMadden, something that I talk about all the time is that to me, like milking a 4-point lead is the worst feeling in the world. You're like not exactly sure whether or not you want to put the foot on the gas or throttle down, and just being uncertain of what you want to do is it's really not great. So right here with him being in the quarters 3 deep, he's taking no chances. I got to give myself a chance to maybe pancake him. So I decide to run the ball. I probably hesitate and don't get any yards on this. Let's see what happens. So we run the stretch, go to the outside, a little stop and go. Yeah, pick up a gain of 9. You see right there, Aaron Jones, 13 rushes, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, I am running the ball at will. We've had 2 bad runs in the first half. I just want to know, I'm trying to think back where it went south on me offensively in the second half. So with him getting the ball start the second half, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, he really diced up my zone drops. Really diced up the zone drops on his second drive. I mean, he went downfield and got a field goal, probably a quick touchdown if he has anything more than 30 seconds to deal with right there. And we end up right here with first down and 10 from the 25 after that touchback. And yeah, okay, so watching this right away, why am I in zone drops? For me, like a clear-minded me, like you got to realize at the end of the half, that was bad. That was really, really bad. So I go into zone drops here, and he looks for the flooding concept. I actually played pretty good right there. Pretty good defense. The fact that he's not rushing at the end of the half probably forces him to not hit the running back check down right there. Okay, so good. I get out of the 3-3-5 here. You notice I flip-flop Zadarius Smith to the other side. You notice that I play a cat and mouse game with him, I think, the rest of the game. He's going to move his Bakhtiari. You see he's on the right tackle spot. He'll move him to try to match where Zadarius Smith is. So I get into this little chess match as he goes 4 strong right here, motions Jones around. And here we go. There's the out route, the corner route. He checks it out underneath the corner. Great little read right there and picks up a first down to Tavon Austin. So one thing that I'm noticing right here is he's played a really good game offensively against the 2-4-5. I know it's a very short sample, and I think that's what's keeping me in the 3-3-5 right here, as I know my opponent is a very savvy route combination guy, but then he's got this great little route combo he's throwing against my zone drops as well. I think this is where things are he's got like one really solid play against the zone drops. He's got one really solid play against the quarters, which has got me a little bit in a bind right here. Austin across the formation in motion. I'm thinking mesh with a wheel, an out route, a slant post. We'll see if that's what he goes to. Nope, he ends up going with a slant, a wheel. He's looking for a playmaker. Yeah, that's not a good play right there. Good defense by me. You see 7 of 11, 89 yards. 3rd down and 2. So right here, I am going to set my adjustments, no auto flip. I want to make sure that I have my alignment correct right here. We're in the 2-4-5. We're going to go to quarters right here. And I'm going to bet dollars to donuts he's going to go 4 strong. He ends up going to bunch tight end right here. Okay, so he goes to bunch tight end. I don't like that read. I wasn't prepared for that. I burn a timeout. I want to make sure that I have audible set. So we're going to make sure to put the bunch tight end PA boot over counter in my audibles. You'll notice that I'm going to do that here. I've done a video on that. It's the corner blitz 3. If you guys want to, make sure you guys go check it out here on the channel. Let's reset. 3rd down and 2. Back to the bunch to the short, the wide side of the field. It's a short down scenario, so I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the running back. I'm gonna bet that he motions him to the right, and that's where I lose track of him here. Now he goes back to the motion with Tavon Austin. This is actually a really good route combo, if I recall. He ends up getting a an out route gunslinger, no animation. Really unfortunate break right there for him. He did really rely on Aaron Jones when I was in the 2-4-5 quite a bit in this game. So 4th down and 2. I'm smelling blood in the water right here. I'm thinking to myself, let's go ahead and go default settings. I'm going to amp it up. And the reason I took my zone drops off is because if I call a blitz, I want my hard flats to play hard on this play. So here we go. He calls that bunch. I'm going to check into a little bit of a zone blitz look right here. And I'm going to play a hard flat coverage. And I'm thinking, I got to get over to the right. He motions Aaron Jones over to the right. 5 out, and his line picks it up, and he's able to hit a corner route. Typically speaking, that is a zone blitz setup that comes in free off the tight end side. I'm not sure what I did wrong. Let's go ahead and take a look back here at this. This is why I wanted to go back and take a look at this tape here. So as I look at this here, check into the blitz, motion's over. Maybe he did a slide protection. Let's see if he did a slide protection. Nope, no slide protection. Oh, I see what it is. My nickel corner looped to the inside. A lot of times that nickel corner comes straight off the edge. Right there, he looped into the B gap, made the pickup easy. So that actually was that's fluke. That is fluke right there. That cost me. I'm not saying that he doesn't hit the check down right there, you know, but had that nickel corner come outside, off the outside shoulder of the outside linebacker as designed, we're talking about a different outcome, I think, right there. Potentially a different outcome. He probably forces that hitch underneath if he's not hurried, or if he is hurried. But either way, good pickup, good conversion by him right there, and he picks up a first down. So 1st and 10, back into the bunch tight end. Catches me off guard again. I wasn't prepared for the bunch tight end, so I just go ahead and use the intermediate crosser. He tries to throw the ball over the middle. This should have been picked. This should have been picked. So let's go ahead and watch that again. I mean, at this point in time, who are you throwing this to? You got 3 rec here. Here's your delay fade. I mean, this is a bad read right here. This is a bad read right here. And if that's not swatted, I think this ends up getting picked. Ends up getting picked. I mean, go back to it again here. Oh, yes. You saw the reticle was right here. That is 100% going to be picked. So that's a bad break. Really bad break right there, as that's going to give him another chance. 2nd down and 10, 14-3. And I want this to kind of be the theme right here. I'm not out here to tell you that my opponent was bad. I think he played a rather great game. But again, that overarching theme of competitive Madden, where you start to think to yourself, you know, did he really do enough to win? Yeah, he had a great offense 90% of the time, but the 10% of the time he made some really, really bad mistakes. Some really, really bad decisions. And those crucial decisions need to cost you. And what do they say, guys? After a drop pick, what's the next play? Touchdown. Great route combo, though. I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. This guy is savvy. He's a very, very good route combination. Very, very good route combo right there to beat the quarters coverage. And he picks up a touchdown. But that's what they always say, man, after a dropped interception, and I'm classifying that as a dropped interception. If I don't get the SWAT animation on that, that is picked off 100%. That was a bad read. There's no bones about it. It was a bad read. But he gets the touchdown. Right here, we try to get the stop. I thought I got him, but he falls in and makes it a 3-point game. So what did I say, guys? I said the worst spot to be in is that spot where you feel like you're milking a short lead. Compound that by the fact that I gave up that score pretty quickly. It was only about a minute and a half off the clock. A lot of chunk plays there on that drive for him. So here we go. Mercedes Lewis on the return back to the 30. So realistically, I'm thinking to myself, probably at this point, you've run the ball well. Haven't really had to throw the ball at all game, partially due to the fact that your opponent turned the ball over on downs or had to punt on his first drive. So I start the drive off with an inside zone. I run to the inside, pick the wrong hole right there. Again, that's my fault. Overall, 11 really good runs, 3 not so good runs. Close to 100-yard average at this point. So I come back out, trips to the wide side. He audibles into the 3-3-5 wide again. He's got that inside zone gap shoot. Definitely weighing in my mind. I decided to go with a little ad-lib setup right here. I'm going to drive the seams. I'm going to motion Valdez-Scantling across the formation. And I'm going to put him on a skinny corner route. This is a bad route combo. Bad route combo. I'm going to roll out to the right here. And I'm going to throw the ball away. Good defense by him. See, that's the thing. When my delay fades are covered, I throw them away. When his delay fades are covered, he throws them and gets swatted, so he gets another chance to score a touchdown. So, again, those are things you got to change in competitive Madden. Reward the players that make good decisions, punish the players when they make bad decisions. 3rd down and 7. Bunch tight end, definitely going meta here. We have a little delay fade. I'm trying to hold his user. Rashawn Gary ends up shedding instantly. But Tanyan, I'm able to release him. Bobby Tanyan, man, he ended up being probably the biggest release valve I had in this tournament the entire time. Gave up the instant shed, made himself available, and I was able to throw the ball to him and truck over his user for a first down. So right there, that's good. I mean, at least you're getting me to the fourth quarter on that conversion right here. I'm not a big fan of this. I throttle down. You saw that I definitely have not moved the ball really well out of the trips tight end in this game. I put in Tyler Irvin, but I think that this change is bad. I really do. Right here, I'm going to a dive lookie. I picked the right hole, but I ran right into Rashawn Gary again. So again, like, my issue hasn't been that he's had good run defense. It's been that I've ripped off good runs, and then the ones that have been bad have been self-inflicted. Bad run stick right there. But nonetheless, getting the clock rolling, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, let's get this into the fourth quarter and take a 10-point lead. Or I'm sorry, not a 10-point lead. Yes, actually, let's take at least a 10-point lead right here as we're up 14-11. So, again, gonna audible back into the I form H slot. Again, with this dive call, most people think it's gonna be the stretch. This time, good gap shoot, and again, bad run stick. The left A gap wide open, and I veer off to the right A gap. So now 3rd down and 5. Yeah, watch this back. I'm actually really irritated with how bad the run stick was in this game overall. I ran the ball so well, and I beat myself with my own run stick, I feel like. So 3rd down and 5, 40 seconds and ticking. I want a safe call right here. I want this call, even if it's short of the line of gain. I want this to get me to the fourth quarter. Snap the ball, pretty meta setup right here, looking for the out route, the slant. Again, what did I do? I stepped to the right. Let's watch this back. That is, again, the second time in this game that I have done this, where I cost myself due to my pocket. Usually my pocket presence is a staple of my game. Notice how I step to the right instantly, and that puts me in a spot where I can't throw the ball to Devontae. If I'm up in the pocket, right there in the middle, I can throw that slant, but instead I stepped out to the right and I missed my opportunity. So that's 2 passes in this game where my pocket presence has cost me, and it cost me dearly right here. That honestly might have cost me the game, if we're being honest. That could have cost me the game simply because I convert that. I'm probably in field goal range, and we're in the fourth quarter where I'm going to burn at least another 2 minutes off on my next set of downs. Take it down to 3 minutes. You're up 6 with 3 minutes to go. If he scores quick, you're in a spot where a field goal can win you the game. If he doesn't score at all, it's game over. Yeah, that play right there, that crippled me. My run stick and my pocket presence really beat me in this game. Really. And there's some other things that we're going to talk about in this game, as I have a really good punt right here, out of bounds at the 6. But those 2 things, self-inflicted, I can still win the game if I don't do those things to myself. There are some things that are really bad. Obviously, the delay fade that he threw into triple coverage that got swatted by a D lineman, that probably takes points off. That might have ended the game. That's probably a pick 6 if we're being honest, because he's on the run getting hit by the pass rush, and I'm getting a pick right over the middle of the field with a pretty fast linebacker back the other way against Aaron Rodgers, who's not that fast. So, this isn't Mutt where Vic saves every pick 6. But either way, you got to ignore those things and get going. So 2nd and 5 right here after a run to the hash mark. Excuse me. I'm just thinking right here, don't allow 7. Put yourself in a spot where a field goal drive can win. Obviously, he's got a long way to go to get field goal range, so you can play a little bit aggressive for maybe a 1st down or 2, but don't give up the chunk plays. Again, 4 strong, motions over to the other side, and he's going to hit the running back out of the backfield. Smart call. Again, smart call. Bad run stick by him right there, but gets a fall forward animation over Holloman and picks up a 1st down. So 1st down and 10, clock is ticking. And I think that I'm going to dance with the one that brought me here. I'm going to pretty much stay with the 2-4-5 the rest of this game. And I know what you guys are probably thinking. It's like, oh, you're not making that many adjustments. And I'm really not. I mean, when you're throwing balls behind the line of scrimmage as your primary read against the defense, the defense is pretty good. I've got to rally up and tackle. That's the way I'm thinking about it. So 2nd down and 7. And I start to notice his pace. His pace right here is throttling down. Like, he wants to make this the last drive of the game. So, I can't let that impact my defensive play calling too much. I can't be like, all right, let's get super aggressive. But in the back of my mind, it might be time to dial something up. Here he goes to an out route. I think that's a terrible read. I think that was a really bad read. It was never open at any point. I'm not asking for a pick, but that's the outcome he deserves, an incomplete pass and a 3rd down and 7. This isn't all pro. You can't just throw an out route into man coverage on all Madden. You can't do it. But he did, and he tried to, and he's not done doing that. So 3rd and 7, big play, 4 strong motions. I got to be ready for the out route to the running back. Goes to a swing route, goes up top, and I get a deep route knockout. Deep route knockout right there. So 4th down and 7. This is a big play right here. So the back of my mind, I'm thinking, do I want to amp up? Last time on 4th down, he actually dotted me, picked up the blitz really well, and did it with 5 guys on route. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to drop the coverage, or do I want to send the dogs right here? So come right back out in the quarters. He's in between the hashes too, which is another factor to consider right here. You know, zones play a little bit differently in between the hashes as opposed to on the hash. I see Tanyan is pointing, which means he hot routed him. Motions Jones out of the backfield. And here goes Jones on the out route, and he throws the corner route. So right here, as I watch this, he's got an answer for quarters. He has an answer for quarters, and I didn't recognize that soon enough. Right here, I'm kind of thinking to myself, okay, what did I do wrong? I'm going to go to my coaching adjustments, and I'm going to create some hybrid style coverages out of this. This is where I think now I'm going back to, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to set up some zone drops to mix in to take away that little route that he threw right there. You see right here, I'm going to go right to that style, that hybrid style quarters coverage, the deuce close coverage, I believe they call it. So 2nd down and 7. And the whole premise on that coverage is that, you know, if he sends one route vertical on the trip side, my match will take it. And with me using the backside quarter, if anything comes vertical my way or goes vertical in terms of Devontae Adams, that's my responsibility. But my zones are playing 25 yards. Here I decided to play solo on the backside. Didn't want to go with the cloud flat on the back. Right here, he motions across. He went to the same quarters beater that he scored a touchdown on earlier in the game. Throws the ball to the running back out of the backfield. And now it's really starting to settle into me that, like, this is honestly ball game right here. He's taking this all the way down, and he's not even in midfield yet. So I've got to get a stop here on this drive if I want to see the ball, especially having only 2 timeouts left. Here I'm going to individually man up the running back. He motions across Austin. I leave the defense set here, and he's going to find the slant over the middle. Good defense. I could not afford to play heavy, low inside leverage on Austin, given that I was manning up the running back. I had to stack that route vertically and give the inside release shallow, and that's what he took. That was a good route designed by him right there. I could not have possibly used that route any better or safer in that spot. I can't afford to give up a one-play score biting on a slant, and then he's on a streak. So good call by him right there. Another run, 2nd down and 8, 144 and ticking. And we're getting into the territory where there's a play that I want to talk about. So again, Austin in motion. I know that he's probably going with the streak slant C route combo here. That's exactly what he goes to. I stay back on the running back, but again, finds the corner route for a 1st down. So he's got some good route combinations against this particular coverage, playing really, really well. Albeit he's only got 11 points. It's not like I'm playing bad defense at this point. Now here we go. 1st down and 10 from the 31. 128 to go in the ball game. And motions 4 strong again. I decide to take the running back manually. I bite down, and we get a sack off the edge. So that same pressure, right, that I set up on the 4th down that didn't come in, it came in right there. That's what I'm saying, is like how random that call was and how that guy blitzing to the inside kind of cost me. That is the exact pressure I was looking for on the 4th down early on in the half, which could have won me the game. Again, just a blitz angle changing for no reason potentially cost me a score right there. Right here, goes out to the flat. Had the quarter flat, Holloman with a nice little tackle. 3rd down and 15, guys. 3rd down and 15. This is the play of the game right here. This right here is the play that makes this whole video to me. When you play competitive Madden, chat. Sorry for calling you chat. I'm not on Twitch. When you are playing competitive Madden and you make bad mistakes, they need to be punished. Here he goes, quarters beater, the same route combo. I know he's going to do it. He goes and throws a C route into at least double coverage and into a guy who never turned. He never turned his hips. That's the 2nd time that he threw a ball to Devontae Adams on an outbreaking route against Jair Alexander, who had outside leverage and did not have his hips fully turned, and he just throws it with a straight face. What is this? This is a terrible read that in a tournament has to be punished in the form of an interception. It just does. And if you look at the clock right here, with 49 seconds left and him having already burned a timeout, that is the game. That is effectively the game. Now, I know what you're saying, Zan, man up. You got 4th down and 15. Get this stop. And trust me, I'm not sweating that drop pick in real time in this game. Right here, I am focused on getting a stop. I want to be clear. I am focused. Now I've got Jair in the zone. He's not going to test him with his best receiver. I'm in a good spot. Let's talk about what I did wrong here. Knowing that he was bagged, I don't know why I'm not over on the left side. Knowing that he's not going to be looking at Devontae Adams right here with Jair in the zone, I've got to get over here and play this outcut. I decided to play more of a drop zone. I didn't match this very well. And let's look at it one last time right here. So 4th down and 15. He goes to the play flood. Once I see Jair glowing right there, I've got to play the bunch side. I've got to. And when he snaps this ball, I'm playing drop zone. And he just takes the outcut. It's great. I mean, really good play call. Really good play call. Nothing more that I can say about that other than it's a great play call. I mean, he trusted Tavon Austin with his tournament life on the line. I thought right there he's going to kick a field goal. I mean, this guy wants the game. He wants it right here in regulation. So 1st down and 10 from my 19-yard line. I'm not going to say I'm demoralized right here, but I mean, it definitely hurts. It definitely hurts. At this point, you're thinking, oh, I screwed up my user on this play. I got to be over on the left side in the play before I dropped a game-winning pick. It's easy to kind of get frustrated. Here he, again, throws the running back route out of the backfield and falls down to my 2-yard line. And yeah, at this point, you're kind of resigned to fate. You know, I have to burn a timeout in that spot. I have to preserve any chance of getting the ball back that I possibly can, while understanding that the task in front of me, 1st and goal from the 2, is a very daunting one. So he's going to go strong H wing, and I'm going to go auto flip, and I'm going to go into my no, actually I don't right here. I go into 2-4-5. Oh, I've got the RPO gap shoot right here. So I've got the RPO gap shoot with Kevin King. The hole opens up, and I tackle him for a loss. That's a huge play right there. Huge play right there. As I get that TFL. Again, I talk about it all the time. The 2-4-5, I could shoot all the popular runs. And, you know, yeah, this guy ran a decent offense, but it was all the running back. You're not going to face too many players that are that patient. This guy played a really good game offensively. Like I said, he made 2 crippling mistakes that went unpunished. I think I deserve to move on in this one, but, you know, those 2 crippling mistakes weren't punished. So right here, guys, I was setting up a zone blitz. I think I go right back to it right here. Let's see what he goes to. Yep, I go to the zone blitz. Now he's going into the trips tight end. I'm thinking 0-1 trap. So I got to get over there, and we try to shoot through the middle. I actually didn't get a clean gap shoot at all, but I get another tackle for loss, and now the clock's rolling for him. That was a really smart play call. Really smart play call, because in this spot, I can't stop the clock. And this puts him in a spot where if he doesn't like his play call, he can still run the ball and you know, put me in this spot where, you know, I'm not touching the ball again unless he scores a touchdown. You know, we're going to overtime tied, or I'm touching the ball with, you know, 15 seconds down by 4. Good clock management by him right here. So right here, what is this? 3rd down and goal. I already know what he's going to do right here. This is going to be the running back. Yep, that's exactly. He goes and throws the option route out of the backfield and hits me for a touchdown. I was just honestly way too stubborn against the running back. As I watch this back, man, you know, pocket presence, run stick, and not adjusting to the fact that Aaron Jones was the primary receiver in this game. Yeah, you could definitely point the finger at the basically the 2 drop game sealing interceptions on both of his drives in the second half that caused him to take the lead. Those are definitely crippling, but there are definitely things that I can clean up. And I think that should be the message coming out of this to anybody, is we all have games where there is definitely a play that you point to where you're like, this cost me the game. And I think that I have a strong case with 2 of them in this game. But there were definitely areas to clean up. Pocket presence. Stay in the pocket, especially when you're playing a left-right, right-left route combo where your opponent has to choose which one to guard. If you drift in the pocket, you take away your options. Here, I'm just trying to make something happen. Mercedes Lewis isn't going to do anything on that kick return. So I try to give the ball to Tavon Austin, and, you know, obviously nothing doing. It's basically over at this point. So just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for watching these videos. I know they're a little bit longer form, but I think that they're really healthy for doing these commentaries reflecting on my own gameplay, and trying to at least remain humble and show losses. I know there's a lot of channels out there that don't show losses, and I think that's pretty grimy. And I'm not out here to give you the idea that I'm the best player in the world. I've got things I've got to work on as well. That little walk-off putt route right here, I get out of bounds. Just trying to get myself into field goal or Hail Mary range right here. We do have Aaron Rodgers, the Hail Mary god, of course, but I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I think that it's always good to reflect, see what I can do better. It makes me a better teacher of the game. Hopefully it allows you guys to learn the game as well. Again, I'm gonna go right back to the same thing. Tavon's gonna burn, I rat catch outside, and I get out of bounds with 1 second left. So I've got one prayer right here. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, please feel free to drop those below as well. Make sure you guys check out gridirongameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. I know that I didn't adjust within this game, but my opponent did a good job relying on Aaron Jones. So here we go. We got one chance. I'm gonna just try to chuck it up, give myself an opportunity. Motion Devontae Adams across the formation. Put him on a skinny, a skinny post right here. Yeah, I mean, this is a hope and a prayer right here. So Barnes, I'm gonna roll out. I just playmaker back over the middle. Yeah, pretty anticlimactic. Didn't even send it to the end zone as it's all over. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.